Eagle eyes at night. Yeah, you know we need that. Today we're upgrading the tail lights on the Tahoe with these aftermarket sea lights, and they will work on the barn door. As you can see, I have them on, but they will require a slight modification, nothing too hard or difficult. I had also purchased a different set of sea lights, but these didn't fit on here. So that's as far as it goes in. So it sticks out that much. And you can see right here where it's hitting. So all of this. You can see down here, I removed some of the reverse lights. This is the one that hasn't been cut. And on this one, I cut all the back just to make it fit on the barn door. But it's a big piece, as you can see. I also covered this section so that the sea light would still light up all the way. And I started modifying the reverse lights with new ones. It was just a little bit of a big hassle, so I decided just not to do it. If you don't mind cutting them and you have barn doors, yeah, they do look good on it. Here's a better angle. But I'm just gonna go with the other ones because I don't want to have any damage on them later on with like water or anything like that. I decided to go with this model to change it up instead of having the bright red. So now we have some chrome in the middle, red on the sides, and the black housing as well. If you go and look real close on the tail lights, you can actually see they got the eagle eye stamp on them. So you know for sure they got to go on this Tahoe.
I like to think of Jesus like with giant eagle's wings.
Yeah.
The tail lights also come with a red housing if you don't like the black one, but I'll have them both down below in the description for you guys. They're all LED except for the reverse light. You can see it's got a halogen, so I purchased a new set of Oxydo bulbs for the reverse light to make it look a little bit better with the other LEDs. And you can also notice that on the driver's side plug, it's only one connector, and on the passenger side it has two connectors. It looks like it's supposed to be from 2000 to 06. This one says 2000 to 01 and 2000 to 03, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be like a 03 or 06, and this one's got to be like a 99 to 02. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it out and probably cut off the one that I don't need because I don't want to have two connectors. They're all color coded, so it's not gonna be hard. You can see there's all blacks, all yellow, white to black, green. So we're just gonna color match them, and I'll test them out just to make sure which one works first before I go ahead and cut it and crimp on the new terminals, because I'm pretty sure they have crimp terminals in here under this heat shrink, just like the stock ones or the factory wiring. They also come with their resistor boxes, which we have to use, and I might just change the connectors on these because these are not outdoor connectors, or maybe just cover them up with some heat shrink so that water doesn't get in. But it's got two for each side, the driver and the passenger side. All we have to do on these tail lights is like minimal trimming. This little bar here is gonna have to be cut, and the one on the passenger side, you don't really have to trim it, but I might just trim it so that they can both match up. For the most part, the bottom is all clear except for this little section, which is the one that we want to go ahead and trim because it is touching on the barn door. And here you can see my old one is completely clear and it doesn't touch the barn door at all. I don't really think this is required. You can see it's a small little support, so it shouldn't damage or hurt anything down here. And I'm just going to go ahead and trim it down and it should be good to go. The tail lights that I have right now do fit the barn door, but if you guys notice on the side, you can see a little bit of the pin sticking out and it doesn't align properly. So what I'll do is try to put a spacer to make it all even. And here you can see there's no gap on the driver's side. It's got a little bit of a gap or lip. It's like the tail light is sunk in, and I'll have to put the spacer, and I think that'll fix it. From the outer edge it looks good. It's just out here it's kind of sunk in. This is the driver's side. I'm gluing the spacers on this one first to see if it'll correct it as well. The spacers did help out these tail lights. Now there's no more gaps on the outer edge, and this side is all evened out. The tail light's not sticking in or out from the top. On the driver's side is the same way. On the gaps they're all even, and this one is not sunk in from here anymore, so there's no more lip. On the outer edge it's all nice and straight. If the new tail lights don't fit properly, I'll also use the spacers. I got the tail light on, but you can see right here on the bottom where it's hitting on the barn door, that little support bar. We're gonna go ahead and trim it. It should be a simple cut. There it is, all trimmed up, and you can see on the interior of the taillight. So we'll put some silicone. I also trimmed on this corner, which you may not have to, but I just decided to do a little bit. And this is mostly the bottom section where it hits. And I'm gonna just go ahead and cover it up with some silicone. This is the one I'm using, and I'm just kind of dabbing it right here, so it blends in with the taillight. It's really not that much, but we do want to go ahead and cover it from water damage. And once it dries, it should look just like normal with that black silicone. It's on now, but I'm thinking of putting those spacers down here because it kind of pulls from this section. This one looks tighter. I don't know if you can see, it's like a slight pull. To install the new taillights, we have to run the new harness to the bottom of the bumper, and you'll see it underneath. There's a couple of connectors here, but it'll be on the top. I'm just testing it out, and it already looks good down here on the bottom. Everything is working properly, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it like that. The boxes, I plugged them in both directions and it didn't really matter. But on the plugs, I am gonna leave it with the 2000 to 01, and I'm gonna cut off this one because I won't be using it and I don't wanna have an extra wire here. They're just pinned a little bit different, but the wiring color codes are the same. I'll cut them around this section so they can be all even, and you can see they're just color matched, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, those crimps aren't going anywhere, and this looks much better with the single plug since I don't need this extra one just hanging around. Mine says 99 to 02, so this will be fine. And I'll go ahead and just close these down with the heat shrink. The only thing I noticed on this plug is that if you look back there, you can see the terminals, so they're not watertight. And what I'll do is add some silicone so they can last longer. They actually did put it on the reverse light. You can see those are sealed. And over here I have the original plug. You can also see they're sealed from the bottom. And here's the other plug that's cut. But you can see those little terminals on the bottom, so water will get in there and they might not last as long. I packed them with silicone first, and after I put the cover, I'll put a little bit more. I went ahead and just ordered the outer connectors so that we can upgrade the connectors on the resistor boxes and extend the life of the tail light. You can see water will get in here and damage it. I already have the driver's side ready. These are just plug and play now, and the wire harness is all loomed up. The silicone also dried up and it looks pretty good, just like normal. You can't really tell anymore. And I'll just have to cover up this with the loom and finish crimping the other connectors. Alright, now the taillights are up to spec. We got the cut section for the barn door. It's all sealed up with the silicone, so it'll be good and it's not gonna hit the frame. You can see the braces on the bottom for the passenger side, so we don't have to cut it. This one on the driver's was on the top side, that's why it was hitting. And we went ahead and upgraded the connectors to outdoor for the resistors, so water won't get in here. And the silicone on the plug for the main harness on both sides, the driver and passenger side. And we also got the upgraded reverse lights. I already went ahead and just inserted the auxitos in there. They look much better. With the factory screws, the tail light gets pulled towards the barn door and it leaves this big gap over here, so it doesn't look good. It feels like it's gonna fall off. But also when you open up the barn door, it touches on it and it wants to crack it, so I'll probably have to do the spacers. You can hear it right there. From the inside, the screws line up right, but the gaps are just not consistent. It's bigger at the bottom and real tight at the top. I got me some tapping screws. These are 1 inch and it says number 8. So those are long enough with the 1/4 inch spacers. There it is, the spacers are on, and now they should fit much better. I got them on there with some CA glue, but that's what they look like. I just glued them onto the clips, so they're actually detachable if you want to take them off. On the manual, it tells you to put the resistor boxes back in this pocket, but mine won't fit because I have the relay for my LED pillars. But what I do have is the Barndoors, and they have this flat spot just like that, one on top of each other. There's a lot of space back here, and we can go ahead and put this tail light back on. Yeah, that's looking way better. They turned out great, and you can't tell there's any spacers on the tail lights. It's even all around on the driver and the passenger side. Even if you come up close, you can't tell, and it's all even, so no more sunk lips on this tail light. And the same on the passenger side. It definitely needed some new taillights. Before you go driving off with your brand new taillights, you want to make sure to test them out fully in the daytime and nighttime with the truck running, especially the brake light, because when I was testing mines out, everything worked in the daytime, but at nighttime, my brake lights didn't work.
Bruh. Bruh.
I'm testing it out, and these resistors are not working with the brake at nighttime. So what I have to do is put on my old resistors, and these will work. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of these. I'm not sure what is wrong with them, but I've seen some of the reviews on the comments in Amazon where they say the brake doesn't work. I guess it's the resistor, something's wrong with it. But all you have to do is wire up some new ones and you're good to go. And we don't need to hook them up on both wires. I'm only hooking up on one plug. That's with the yellow and black wire, not on the green and black. The good thing is I had my third brake and pillar lights working, but all I had to do was upgrade the resistor box that came with the tail lights. This long jing one just didn't work out. I'm not sure what it means.
Gotcha!
But what I do know is the resistance was just too high for my 01 Tahoe. It might just work out for the 03 to 06 models.
Of course, dude. That is cool.
For my brake lights to work at nighttime, I ended up using my old resistors, and I just went ahead and zip tied them here for the test and use some quick crimps. But I'm gonna go ahead and replace those and fix it properly. They ended up going on the black and yellow wire, so that's for the brake. And I didn't end up using the one with the green and black wire. And I don't need any resistor back here since I had already replaced my flasher relay underneath the dash. But if you don't have that, you can also make sure to have a resistor back here. Other than that, then you can just cap it off and zip tie it back here. From trying that out multiple times, the spacers did try to fall off. This one's still good, but you can see on this one I added some 3M tape. And to fix it, I'm just gonna go ahead and re-glue it and close it up with some heat shrink. That'll hold them in place. Yeah, those spacers aren't going anywhere no more. I've started making the new resistor harnesses, and all we're using is 2 of the 50 watt 6 ohm resistors. That way we can get the correct load at 3 ohms and 100 watt so they can dissipate more heat. And essentially all it is 2 wires from the resistors going to one wire, the other 2 to a second wire, and it doesn't really matter. It's all the same thing. It's just resistance. And I went ahead and extended the wire all the way to the other plug and play connector, and you can see they're connected to the positive and negative. The polarity doesn't matter on the plug and play connector as long as they're separate. And I do like to make my wires long so that I can hide the resistors underneath the truck, since they can get warm or hot and I don't want them closer to the tail light. But once it's all complete, you can all clean it up and it'll look similar to this with the 2 resistors on top. We got the heat shrink and braided sleeve to make it look much nicer for a clean and plug and play setup. But you guys let me know what you think down below in the comments on this resistor kit. That's some real resistors. We won't be using these boxes on our truck. They might work for the 03 to 06, but on the 99 to 02, they don't work. I metered them, and they're reading around 20 and 10 ohm, which is too high. These are actually wired up at 3 ohms each, So they work out perfect. And if you're having any issues with your brake light not working, you might have to do something similar to this. That looks much cleaner. And now I can go ahead and zip tie my resistors below the truck to keep them away from the taillight. They have a real bright but smooth glow to them. I really like the way they turned out. Whenever you get close to them, you can actually kind of see it's 3 pieces, but once you get far, it looks like one big piece. And it just makes the truck look more modern. I should have done them earlier, but I'm glad I did now. These are probably the brightest reverse lights I've had so far, but I do like that they shine off to the sides because whenever you're backing up, it is kind of dark down there. Let's see if I can get you closer, but it kind of blurs it out on the camera since they're so bright. There they go right there. I have limo tint on the Tahoe right now. Those reverse lights definitely do help out. That's a big difference. There goes the other side. It looks better from this angle. Yeah, I need to change out those dome lights as well. Definitely way brighter. If I missed anything, let me know down below in the comments. I love reading them. And if this video helped you out or you like this content, don't forget to like and share the video. And I'll see you on the next one. Maybe you want to do some turn signals.